check. You get me? I just been feeling how I've been feeling, you know what I mean? Three God, three G's. And I just wanted to like put something together like that just put my emotions, you know, and all my thoughts and ideas, it's just everything, you know. Yeah. Promises of light, but they never really showed you. It was trouble that they sold you. My mom always right, seen the devil try to hold us. That would be alright, decided searching for some closure. Promise get it right, I made it through.
Welcome to another episode of Always Chance It, brought to you by Real Chances Studio Network. And today we have Nina Grae here today. She's
I'm in a good time already, you know.
Yeah, she's a singer. Nina, where are you from exactly? Is it Los Angeles, or that's just where you're based right now?
I'm currently based in Los Angeles, from California.
Okay. What part of California, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so I was born in Berkeley, California, up like considered Northern California.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I grew up in the valley in a town called Bakersfield, which is about 2 hours northeast from Los Angeles.
Okay. All right. And let's talk a little bit about before your music career. Like, what type of music did you grow up listening to in Berkeley?
I mean, so my first talent show was singing a part of your world, Ariel, you know, just under the sea with my little fish hanging at my first grade talent show.
Right.
So back in my mermaid days, that was like early age. And I truly like, yeah, Stevie for sure was played a lot in my house. Van Morrison was played a lot at my house. The Stones were played a lot in my house. Michael, of course. Lauren was like one of my first CDs that I like had, like this is mine, and I could just go through it. And of course, that's just so inspiring, you know, at that age.
So that's a lot of soul that you just named. Like, that's like, you know what I'm saying? If somebody was playing and they just sat and listened to all that, they'll walk out groovy, you know?
They feeling good when they walk out.
Yeah. So with that said, like when you began to gear towards like making your own music, who was some of your influences and people that you looked up
to? I mean, Pharrell off the top, just because, yeah. Like the whole everything, Neptune's, Pharrell, like everything that was, it just felt different and interesting and like creating its own thing and just have flavor and feel and collaborations with so many artists. And that's what I really appreciated.
Okay. Is that's the only that's more on the production side, or that is just like the whole vibe in total? Like
a vibe and production.
Okay.
I mean, because you can get serious, but you can make it rock, but you can make it sexy, but you can make it fly, but you can like, there's just so many ways to go at the same elements that just felt like fun and creative in that production and vibe style. And so like, I'd say that's definitely a driving, you know, a producer and artist that greatly inspired.
Okay. All right. And were there like any instruments? Because you know, most singers, they might play like an instrument or the piano, or like might have made beats before they started like doing their own thing. So was there anything that you did musically or creatively before you became a singer?
You know, I mean, singing was just so young, like 6 years old, 7 years old. Like singing was always part of it,
Uh-huh.
but like learning GarageBand on my iPad, like my first iPad,
Okay.
was very helpful, extremely helpful. Like, and I'm so blessed that I found it on the iPad version because like the tactile act of using your fingers and like that made music kind of stick in a way that I don't know, nothing else I touched had.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of people started off on GarageBand.
Um,
I started off like my first few songs were on GarageBand, and then later like we had a multimedia class, and then we got Logic that year. So we
yeah.
was we was blessed to have Logic, but now kids in that same class got Pro Tools, and I'm like, damn,
Wow.
y'all got it good. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, bless it. Yeah, that's really a beautiful thing to have access to that. And Logic, like have access to Logic and being the logical step up from GarageBand. It's cool that like a lot of our systems had GarageBand in it by default.
Yeah,
So like if you're interested in production, you can just like fuck around and it's there. And
yeah.
then you kind of already know Logic once you get into that program because you've been messing around on GarageBand. It's like I'm appreciative of that.
All of them are the same in a lot of ways. All of them are the same.
Right?
Yeah, it's just a different quality. Just like a car, all of it. You drive it kind of the same.
Right. That's a good analogy, actually, because you could be like bumping around and some stuff, and other stuff
Yeah,
you just be chill.
yeah. Nah,
That's
that's
that
true.
mix, though.
So let's talk about some of the factors that made you pursue a music career. So like, what was some of the things that?
Hmm. Oh, that's such an interesting question to just zoom out and think about. Will you answer this question after I answer this question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I
Oh,
would love to know too.
okay.
Mm. Um, I don't know if it's nature or if it's nurture, but this perception of like the world being set up as it is, live as a kid in California in the United States in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, like something about the way it is just didn't feel like natural.
Okay.
And so music felt like natural. Like if I'm gonna live somewhere, I'm gonna live in that world because I think that's closer to where my soul, my heart live. And that pull just has always kept bringing me back, bringing me back. So fighting with that pull for a while and trying other things, but then eventually just like giving into it.
Yeah. Um, for me, say say that all right, you're a little kid in third grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every day in third grade, my mom, she always be like, nah, that ain't true. But from my remembrance, I got a whooping every day in third grade. You know what I'm trying to say?
Every day,
Every day.
every single day.
Every single day for something, right? But it all came down to like either voicing my opinion
Mm,
or just wanting to express myself at the wrong time.
mm.
So I later went on to seventh grade, and I was getting in trouble too around that time, same thing. But I had a dean, and he took the time. He gave me a diary. He went to Walgreens at lunch that day. Got like a booklet for me.
Mhm.
Bought the booklet. Told me, say every day you write how you feel, how your day went, and all of that. And then he said, we'll come and we'll talk about it at a time, because he was my basketball coach too as well.
Oh, that's what's
So he did that, and then later on, like probably like a week later, that same notebook turned into a rap book, and I used to be like showing him my raps. But it was just like, damn, I'm like, I could put the same feeling that I put in the diary, like in words, and then like, you know what I'm trying to say? So I'm like, words is the thing that's getting me in trouble. So let me just flip it and embrace it, you know? So that's something that I did. That's kind of what made me pursue it. And then, you know, like later on, once you get a little better, people start saying like, "Oh, you good." So we all want to feel honored, and that's like the good thing that I was good at that time. So I just kept with it, you know.
Cool. Thank you for keeping with it.
Yeah, thank you too as well.
Mm.
So let's talk about some of the intent behind your art. Do you just do it to make you happy? Is it something that's you look at as traditional, generational, like you want maybe your niece or your cousins, like you want it to be like a family thing, like eventually, like how do you look at this?
That's another great question. You coming with the great questions. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe it's a bit delusional, but I do feel like music, vibration, like collective intention has the power of a tsunami wave in like a positive way, effectively shifting consciousness, human behavior, and like very institutionalized systems to reflect that which is more natural to this planet, to ourselves, and to realign us back to that. Like, I think music has a piece to play in that, the
Definitely.
assembly of that picture.
So that's some of the reason like behind it is because of how powerful music really is.
I mean, yeah, music's a powerful tool, you know? And so I guess like my intention to use it is to just kind of tap into the power that I believe it to have and see if there's a way that I can be a vessel or a channel to let some of that power out in my song so people can tap into it and feel it for themselves and feel inspired or empowered to go ripple that forth in their own lives or heal what is asking to be healed within them or move forward in certain ways, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's always great as an artist, especially a music artist, when somebody tell you like, man, bro, I'll be playing your song like on the way to work, or you know what I'm saying, or like when I'm working out, or when I get into it with my girl or something. Like it's like, damn, you play my music? Like why you don't play like some Smokey Robinson? Like, why you know what I'm saying? Why you choose? But like it's just humbling. Like why you choose my music? So like to to be to be like how you say, to be using that energy, that powerful energy that music gives us, it kind of like it make you feel good. Like, all right, I'm doing something good. I'm doing a good deed.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we all want to feel like we're doing something good.
Always.
Like we all want to feel like that.
Always.
You know, and yeah, thank you for you got the good questions. You got the good questions.
No problem. So tell us some of the process behind your recording. I know for me, as I always say on the pod here, my back got to be against the wall. Like I gotta be. It gotta be some stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? And not even necessarily something bad, but just like life not going my way, or like in a bratty type mood, and then I'ma just rap like, cause for me, kind of my point of view, I come from y'all don't see who I am. Like that's kind of like my lyrics, you know. So I gotta kind of be feeling like that to rap, you know.
That speaks so true to the power that is music. It's like bring it forth and like flip the whole script.
Yeah, all the time, all the time.
Mm-hmm. Good
So
on you. And that's an interesting point because there's like all different kinds of motivations and like and circumstances that get us prepared and like these birds are kicking. They want to say what's
yeah.
up. You know?
Well, yeah.
What up? But when it comes to like our intention and like the state that we're putting forth, what we're putting forth, like that friction. I was having this conversation the other night with the producer that I'm working with right now, and it's like, how much is it like that push, that turmoil, that friction that then creates that work of art,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, what's the balance between like putting our bodies in a state of like stress,
Yeah.
like because they're like so many of the artist symbols we have are people that push themselves to the limit, live hard, die young, like burn out, like rock star. There's like an element of that. And so
Yeah.
it's like
That's the trend.
it's a trend and it's not super sustainable, like and who's to say, who am I to know that anyone should have a certain lifespan that they're meant to have? Like some people have a big impact in a short time, some people have a huge impact in many lifetimes and legacies. Like, and if there's going to be like health in the space of like creative artists, like I wonder if bringing forth art, the practice of bringing forth art through different ways of being can actually sustain our careers, sustain us as artists.
Yeah.
So we're maybe not every time I'm like going through some shit and I gotta write my way out of it, where I'm just like,
Right.
okay, I'm gonna write from this space today.
Okay. So you can pick and choose in a sense.
I think we all can.
I mean, for me, I can, but for me, I feel like I'm not rapping nothing happy because who am I talking to for real? Who, like, thinking
Maybe
about
you
it, like,
talking to your future love.
no, like that's rapping from a romantic, like an emotion
Okay,
type
so those
stand.
are different categories for you.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
but as far as like just happy go lucky on the track, like, nah, like who am I talking to for real? Like who's really happy go lucky? How many happy go lucky people do I know? And I had to look at that type of stuff. And
Feel that.
and then that's when I had to break certain things down how I did. Like, no, that's romantic, no, that's emotional, no, that's uh prideful. No, that, you know what I'm saying? Like just different categories that I gotta tap into because I know an emotional person, I know a prideful person, I know all of them. So I gotta talk to them. That's how I feel. Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah,
Connecting those dots.
definitely.
Mm. Mm. And I mean, my prayer is that we're all singing happy-go-lucky songs at some point because we
And
deserve that
some,
shit.
yeah,
We
definitely,
deserve it.
definitely.
So until then, I respect the craft. So wait, when you talk about categories, what would the categories you say you have?
Um, I'm talking from a spiritual standpoint most times, like
Mm.
talking about like trying to just manifest and just telling God, like, bro, I'm messed up, and I'm like telling Him in front of the world. That's
Mm.
my type of thing
Mm.
on a spiritual level. And then other times I just talking about some. I guess I take that back. I guess sometimes I do have a happy feeling or emotion on the track because I talk about childhood things, and that kind of makes me happy when I'm writing.
Hey.
So yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Ah.
Look, look at you giving me therapy.
Hey. We just having a conversation, man.
But yeah. So that's just some of my categories, just like spiritual, and then just reflecting. A lot of
Spiritual reflecting.
reflecting.
Okay, so what, like if I go after this and I listen to a track, point me in the direction of a track that I should listen to of yours that
I have a track on my latest album I just dropped for my legacy. It's called And Mostly.
And motion
And Mostly.
and mostly.
Yeah. So I named the titles in a passage type form. So it's I think it's all my life all my life trying hard, fighting hard and trying to believe and prosper. That's like
Hmm.
the passage of it. But you'll see it though when you go.
Fighting hard and trying to believe. Are those two different tracks?
Yeah, they all yeah. It go down in a row like a sentence.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, that's dope.
yeah,
So if you read your track list, it's a sentence?
yeah,
Props.
yeah.
That's dope. I don't
Thank
think
you.
I've ever seen that. Like, how has nobody ever done that?
Oh no, I thought about it. I was like, let me just do it. I
Choo!
did it.
That's dope.
And I'm thinking about doing it for all of them, but
You did.
yeah, but it's hard. Like if you put 12 songs or like 17 songs, it's like damn, I gotta think of
You gotta play like
that.
the
and
YouTube
yeah,
puzzle
and
shit.
and this one like the actual like every song like match with the title and everything. So it's
Whew.
it was difficult, but it's cool though.
Wow, that's some creativity bonus points. We gotta hit it.
Yeah. Now, hopefully you like it though, so we can get a feature or something. I'd love to do something with
Dope,
you.
dope. And that album's the Legacy album?
For my legacy,
For My Legacy.
it's yeah. I I have some songs on there that's from like 2017. They old songs, and some of them are new from when I just moved here in Vegas. You know,
Mm. When did you move to Vegas?
I moved last June, so I've been here like a year and a half almost now.
Okay, right on. You like it out there?
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Anything better than Chicago, you know. It's like just
I mean, I've only
go.
been to Chicago one time, and I only hear hearsay of the place, but I like to talk to people directly about it, you know?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's just like every place. Every place got bad parts. Every place got good parts in
Mm.
between parts. But it's just the opportunities for me. I feel like out here, it's just everybody eager. Everybody just want to do better.
Mm.
Everybody has a business mindset. So I
Mm.
kind of like being around, all of this because I'm not the biggest fish in the pond. I don't feel like, and that's kind
Mm.
of that's a good feeling for most people. They don't like that, but I like that. It's a good feeling. Yeah,
Cool.
that's a good feeling.
Cool. That might be like an artist. I like if you can thrive off of the idea and like get pumped off of the idea of being a little fish in a big pond,
Yeah.
like something in that feels like a little like major key.
No, I don't know. I like working my way up because that's pretty much my life though. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much my life. So kind
Mm.
of like when I'm at the top or like getting favoritism or like somebody's like putting their arm around me, I'm
Ooh.
like, nah. I'm like, what can I? I'm asking more stuff. Like, what can I? You know what I'm saying?
Where
I
can I
hope,
grow? How can I continue to
yeah. I
build?
hope, I hope I ain't just satisfied you yet. Like that's my point of view. And like, I don't
Mm.
want nobody to feel like I'm just super satisfied. I'm like, yeah, give me my credit where it's due. Cause I'll start tripping. But other than that, you know, still give me some more. Uh, what do they call it? Milestones? Give me some more milestones.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, well, I'm curious. What are some milestones you give yourself?
Um, really, I just want my own core following. So I don't know if are you familiar with Currency?
Currency, the artist?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like okay, like Currency, like Mac Miller, like even Soldier Boy, like how they a riffraff. You know how they just have like their own like core following, whatever they put out. Like that's all I want. I just want a group that I could just talk to and just, inspire and just like that just love my art and I love them for loving my art. That's all. That's one of my biggest milestones. And then other than that, I just want generational love. So I just want to eventually build an empire. So that's why I'm doing this. Eventually, I want it to be a network. So my little cousin that a knucklehead don't got nothing going on, I'll be like, hey, cuz, come over here, stand behind this tripod. I'm gonna give you $12 or $15 an hour. You know what I'm saying? And just you just don't stay here for 10 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? And that I can do that because I built this. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's
great opportunity.
yeah, those are my two. Those are my only two milestones. And then just making my mom proud, my family proud. You know, not 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 disappointing them because I feel a lot of times we do a lot of things in the fashion that we used to look up to people. So for example, my brother, he used to wear Reebok Classics a lot, like it's like 02, 03, like 04, And now in 2020, I be rocking Reebok Classics, you know what I'm saying? So like, and then like now, like my brother, when he see it, cause the style different. It was a little baggy back then, so now it's a little slim. He look at it like, damn, y'all wear it different, like like that type of stuff. Just those type of moments, just that type of stuff where I could keep the tradition going, just make my family proud. People.
Hey, keep the bar high as you
Yeah,
continue to pass it.
yeah. Cause I'm the baby. I'm the last one. My mom, she got 3 kids, so I'm the last one, and I gotta.
So you have little ones if you choose to do so.
Yeah.
And that'll be the pass, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
If that's in the cards for you. But even, like you say, your little cousins and like the generation below you that's coming up right now.
Yeah. And my city is it's a lot of opportunity for the kids to do
Where
different
you are
things.
now in Vegas, or you talking about Chicago?
No, in Chicago, back home. Um, it's a lot of opportunity, and it's a lot of kids that probably will want to do a lot of stuff. That's like just the 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 personality out there. People are just animated, like by nature. You know what I'm saying? So like people just funny by nature. Like they don't do nothing, but they just super funny. So I feel like if I bring like a lot of acting opportunities, or just skits or just
Ooh.
different like stuff like that, just to give people, you know,
Yes.
or
And they're like really just being themselves, and people need to see people being themselves.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
just naturally gifted. Just be
yeah.
you.
And a lot of people just don't have nobody that bring them to the side and just be like, hey, bro, come on, bro, just let's do this. You know what
Let's
I'm
go try
saying?
this out.
Yeah, you ain't doing nothing. And they not doing nothing. And a lot of times it's just like how you said the way that I proposed everything and like made it like and that's the same way that I would have to come with them because a lot of people they want to feel like they being a part of something.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, hey, I'm gonna put you in front of this camera and like, bro, what? You know what I'm saying? Like we're like, nah, bro, it's this like that and this can happen and you know what I'm saying? And like if this don't happen then at least this happened. Like we gotta break it down to people. So
Yes, yes. You have a gift for that, though.
I'm it took a long time. I can't lie. It took a long time because a lot of times I used to be shy about all of this. And,
Asking people to do things and
yeah, but then I started realizing that ain't nobody scared to ask me to do nothing. So when it comes a time where I gotta, you know, somebody gotta have my back eventually. So let me start finding out who got my back. You know.
there you go.
So
There you go. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And when did this real chance, like when did that begin? And like, did you start running on
Oh,
it?
okay. So I met Nico. Uh, he's one of my friends. He's one of my big business partners as well. And I met Nico here in Vegas in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and we were downtown Fremont. And he was taking pictures or whatever. I was walking by, and I was just joking. I'm like, "Hey, bro, take a picture of me." And he was so serious about how he took the picture. He was like, "Nah." He was like, "Let's not get it right here. Let's walk across the street, go here." And I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "He's serious." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "All right." So I gave him my email. I'm like, let me see those pictures. Like, you send me those pictures. And he told me he had lived in Colombia, so he had went back to Colombia. So we stayed in touch via email. And
Mm-hmm.
then this July, I was gearing up to do the album, so I went out to New York because he had ended up moving to New York over time, and I went out to New York to do, gear up for my album, shoot some videos and all of that, take some pictures, promo, and we just talked about it, and he's working on the visa thing now, and it kind of goes into the category of his visa.
What's
Uh,
the visa thing?
so basically, he it's a possibility that he won't be able to stay in the U.S. for 2021.
I work
Yeah,
visa thing. I
yeah,
was thinking
yeah.
like he got a visa job. He's doing
No, no,
content.
no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no, no. Yeah, that
Sorry
that
about
type
that.
of visa. Yeah. So it was just kind of something that he could add to his portfolio, and if we got it going, you know what I'm saying. So it's kind of like something to help him, and then it was like something I already was wanting to do and thinking of doing anyway.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and we just added my friend from Ireland, Logan Fitch. He stays in Belfast, Ireland. He's the editor, and I added two of my friends in Chicago, Ernesto Aurelio and Jakeem Smith, and they're running like the sports division, so they're gonna be doing like all of the sports content,
Ah,
all
there's
of
a
that.
sports division on this?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my goodness. I gotta
yeah.
get you in touch with my brother. He's like sport, like you want to talk any kind of sports. He's just a great person to talk to.
Okay, we can hook that up for sure, for sure.
That'd
And
be dope.
and Jakeem's like he's a character too. Like how I told you, animated. He's a character. So
There we go. I already see it.
yeah,
Okay.
that'll be good content. Yeah. So let's get back to some more questions. I want to talk about uh your project, the most recent project. Is it the Remedy?
The remedy.
Yeah, let's talk about that because
Yeah.
the song I was just playing. Uh, let me let me not mess it up because it's my song right here. Give me a moment. Give me a moment and start like some
Why
of some of my
you
favorite.
say you don't need another one? Oh, I wanna hear you say
There we go. That's
that.
the that's that song right there. So tell us how that song came about.
Mm. Well, the primary producer on that project was a talented dude, Ted Digital, out of Sacramento, California.
Okay.
And so we went back and forth on almost every track except for Lullaby. These tracks were like built for the songs that were arising. Like I would write on guitar, create kind of melody, lyrical flow, and
Uh-huh.
then I'd share it with Ted, and he'd be like, okay, this is how I kind of hear the atmosphere, the space of this. And so that's how almost all the songs are born from that album. And Give Me a Moment was actually a track, one of the only ones that he sent me the beat and it just didn't have anything on it. And he's like, this is just here. See if you feel something, if you vibe. And I was just like all up in my like love space feels. The minute I heard it, I was just like, oh, like this is me and my boo driving, and that it's like sun is setting, but the sun is still up, and it's just a vibe. Like I like the top being off, like it's warm. We are just cruising and I'm feeling you. And yeah, well, the second I heard that, that's like the whole picture just came in clear, and then the lyrics just flowed, and that's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, that's my favorite song too as well. But I like Starlight too because it got sample quality. Like I think people will sample that one a lot if people heard it. So I'm a chop them.
Do that.
I'm gonna actually chop some up, but
Go ahead.
yeah.
You have my permission.
All right. No, but have you ever heard of Ella yet or Halsey?
Halsey, I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah, you kind of like Halsey with some more soul, in my opinion. Like your riffs are, a little more soulful. But Ella, yeah, you guys kind of have the same subject matter. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
LA, I feel
She
like
from UK.
UK.
Yeah, I'll send you some of her stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I have gotten down on her stuff, like a coffee or like, wait, can I just look up her real quick? Because
Yeah,
I
go
feel
ahead.
like there's a song that I actually really love of hers, and I would love to just find it. And oh, LA, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's different. No, I don't know that. Okay, yeah, please do send me a track.
Yeah, she fine. But what type of singer do you classify yourself?
Mm.
If I'm a label, I'm talking to you. I'm like, Nina, type of singer is you, girl. What you gonna say?
I usually just say a folk singer.
So folk singer.
Soul folk singer.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds so like such a betrayal to even choose a box, like to my core, and like Grae as my artistry name is representative of that, like fusion of all shades, that middle space, everything. Like the the premise of choosing a box to fit in it feels like just not being true to myself.
Yeah. That's true. But okay, so all right, like not putting yourself in a box, not like putting it to a genre, but if somebody's asking you, like, classify how I would feel like listening to your music, like from
You
that.
don't feel so good. You don't feel like the best you've ever felt in a really long time. You're going to enjoy every bit of it, and you won't even know what to classify it yourself when you're done. And that's why you'll be like, oh, that's why I shouldn't have asked her. I just needed to listen to it and determine for myself how good it feels.
Well, you heard it here first from Nina. Don't ask, just listen.
Don't ask, just listen.
So what's some of your best performances to date or proudest moments as an artist?
Oh, that's a really great question. I mean, real talk, right now, my proudest moment as an artist is working with people one on one and like allowing them to expand their voice and get comfortable in making sound, creating song, like expressing themselves. Like that's kind of a step for me that I've always wanted to step into, and I knew I wanted to, but like the circumstances of COVID like just made it a reality. And so right now, currently in my present life, that's what I'm feeling really, really excited about. And I have a lot of joy around. Performance wise, I mean, I think it's kind of like you said, like, it's like when somebody will just hit me up and be like, yo, like, I was just listening to this song. Like, it really like helped me through a moment, or like it really provided something good. Like, I don't know if it gets better than that, to be honest.
That's
Like, I could be on a stage, but
Yeah, I feel you. That's like hand to hand, you know? Like that's like pretty much like giving them a CD type deal.
Right.
Like it's like that's one of the best feelings for sure, for sure. I already know how you feel. Alright, that's the best feeling.
I mean, and I will say, like, performance wise, like Agape Spiritual Center in Los Angeles, it's headed by Michael Beckwith. It's been like just a totem. The teachings there, the energy there have been just constant streams of like positive inspiration in my life for so long. Like, since seeing The Secret in 2008 and like just following this path of like really higher vibrational living, intentional living, wanting to understand the creatorship and the relationship we have with the reality we are creating through our thoughts, through our vibration, through what we're offering, through what we're letting into our minds, like through who we're choosing our circle as, what we're speaking to ourselves, affirming to ourselves, and like getting to move to LA and then to really spend time at this spiritual center and then share music there from that stage. Like, I could say feels really in alignment and has been like a inspirational part of the performance journey for me.
That's good. That's good. I like the fact that you didn't say anything as far as like the big crowd or like you said something that was impactful as far as your performance. So is that something that's big for you as far as when you're doing music? It has to have like a meaning behind it. It has to have a purpose behind it.
Hmm. Ah, we were talking about this last night at this event, like intentionality. Like, I, as a human, like, I want you to leave this exchange better than when you walked into this Zoom call, you know? And
Right.
so with my music, it's the same thing. Like, I want you to feel better in some way after listening to this. That's a definite intention um, to why I create music. Um, Yeah, and I guess the reason, I don't know, I feel like we kind of touched on that before too, of just like, what are we here for in our lifetime? Like, can we shift vibrations? Can we use this power of music to really usher in um, a better a better tomorrow for future generations? Like a
Right.
more open, awake, conscious, like cooperative society of humans that are working together more than they're working against each other. I like to
Okay.
think it's possible.
Yeah. Me too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um. So what about your social media breaks? How important is that for an artist to exercise?
Mhm. It's so funny because I'm working on this song Digital Detox right now that's all about like I love it when I'm not on my phone. So and I will say that social media is a very powerful tool, and I think when used with intention, when used with genuine intention to connect and create connections like this, like we wouldn't have known each other if it wasn't for social media. This wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for social media. So like, bless the tool that it is to create human to human connection, explorations and creations, that wouldn't otherwise be. Um, at the same time, I think if it's used as a filter or a manipulation of your life, it may not be serving you, and it may actually be you know, hurting you.
Yeah, it's just like anything in life. It's all how you use it. You know,
How you
it's
use it.
yeah, it's all how you. If you're using it for good, it'll more than likely be a good outcome for you. And if you're using it for
Mhm.
bad, then just go with the punches. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, like you say, if it's as a tool, and how you use it, I don't think the conversation of like how often we use it is really at the forefront right now. It's just like we're on it a lot.
all
And
the time.
all straight up. And I think there gets to be room in the future, in the near future, for like intentional times off, because no matter if we're using it for good or for evil or anything in between, like it's inputting things into our brain. It's inputting like information. It has a power that it's intentionally used to keep our attention on it.
Yeah,
So if we're not creating those spaces that say, hey, I don't want any input in my brain right now, I'm actually just going to exist in the world as myself with my own thoughts and my own perception of reality and creation
that's
just
life.
for
Yeah,
these 2 hours. And then if I return to that, I am like rooted in myself. I know where I'm coming from, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. So I don't have all this penetration into my world.
no, that never thought of it like that. Like, cause I usually think of it as like I'm looking at everybody else, like at what everybody else doing, and then I'm not able to really like tap into like what I want, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Which is true
that's
too.
yeah. So that's why sometimes I won't even go on my own personal page. I'll just be like on the business page because I'm forced to look at something inspirational, something positive because that's the only thing that I'm following on
Yeah.
that page. And
Yeah.
then even you go to the explore page on there, it's like the same type of thing. So I'm like, damn, can't get away from it. So I'm like, all right, this is my thing. I'm gonna go here whenever I, feel in that type of way. Or sometimes I listen to, I don't know if you ever heard of the Nujabes.
The who?
The Nujabes.
Nujabes?
Yeah, the Nujabes. It's like they're like a band, but they only like make instrumental type music. So
Ooh.
it's like house music kind of in the sense.
I would
So it's
love
no,
if you sent me a link.
yeah, I will. It's no words
Cool.
and stuff. But some songs got like words like a little looper, like a chorus or a hook or something. But
That sounds like some good work vibe music.
yeah, I
That,
just turn that on sometimes, just listen and just
mm,
smoke and just, get away
mm,
from the world. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So let's talk about your new project. That's what what we really
Mm.
came to talk about.
Whew.
Let's
I
talk about
mean,
that.
yeah. I mean, I guess my new project, like the new album that's coming together, and the songs, like, yeah, a lot emerged during this time of COVID, and having the space and time to just give intentional thought and care to songs. I know you can relate. Like a lot of artists, I know
Yeah,
this has been an incredibly creative time, and it's kind of a blessing in some ways to get like 2-3 days to like be in on a song, like
yeah,
without life having to like, oh, I gotta go here, I gotta meet up, like, that's a straight up blessing. Like I could go to bed working on something and wake up and keep working on it. Like,
that's
whew, thank you, Jesus.
yeah,
So I've really appreciated this time to create and to put that energy into something that keeps me like personally motivated and hopeful and inspired. Because I think about like if I didn't have music like during this time, I don't know what I'd be doing, like it's kept me so, I won't even say afloat, but it's kept me like above water, like
yeah,
really believing in what's possible, like really truly still like connected to the frequency of love, like. And I know like, some people don't have an outlet like that, or like a thing that they can like give themselves over to.
right.
And God, I just pray that like people find their thing. Like it's not going to be music for everyone. Sometimes it's going to be gardening. Sometimes it's going to be, just like walking.
Long walks, yeah, or
But
walking their dog, or just some people need to go chop a tree. You
chop a
know,
tree, chop some wood. By the way, that's like one of the most highest testosterone producing activities that there is for humans. So, shout out any guys that want to just get down on their masculine vibes, go chop some wood.
that is funny. No, so does the project have any name?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Any
yet.
any expected date? Can we expect any date?
I feel like this is going to be like a spring summer 2021. Like it's meant to continue to cultivate through this winter. Have some of these pieces come together because I think as a nation, like we're gonna bloom anew this spring.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we are right now, and we will continue to. Um, but at my core, there's like a warmth in me, like a sun that just, if I'm gonna birth life as an album into the world, like I gotta have the environment shining some warmth back on
Yeah.
it.
I like to drop in the winter, to be honest. A lot of
Okay.
times. I like to drop in the winter.
Oh, see, that's like a preference. I think people would
Yeah.
just have.
Yeah. I think it's just cause that's a lot of the times I feel like I don't know, I just in my head feel like people lights going out, just people cars breaking down, just different like struggles and different life that go on during the winter. So I
You're
feel
right.
like I want my music to be the soundtrack. Once you get over that hump, because you always gonna get over it. So
Right.
yeah.
And there's something to that because I think in the winter too, people just tune into music differently. Like
If
there's
you
like
notice Drake dropped in the winter a lot.
in the winter, but in the summer too, like all summer 16.
Yeah, he do, but it's like this. He drop albums in the winter. I feel like summer he do more singles.
Singles, exactly. And it is like a single time because people are just not just inside, like listening to the whole experience. They're in their car, they're at the beach, they're at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. So, man, so if I'm looking, I'm hounded. I'm like, man, when Nina gonna like, damn, like when she gonna give us some new music? When
Hmm.
can we expect
Well,
something in between?
so before this year is over, there is a song that I'm really excited to drop. I'm just thinking like I love visuals too, and a strong visual just does so much to enhance like the potency of the song, in my opinion.
Right.
So it's like I don't know if I want to just drop the single or just create the visual too, and drop it all at once, which is like where I'm kind of leaning. So
Okay.
within the next 2 months, I would say the visual and the song, because the song's just coming out of mix. I'm getting the final mix later today, and I feel like that's solid. So it's like the visual aspect of it.
All right. So y'all hear y'all? She cooking. She cooking. She got something
Cooking,
coming.
cooking.
Cornbread to be ready soon.
Yep. It's going to have that honey on it too.
And so that's pretty much it. I appreciate you for coming on and giving us the opportunity. We're new, so it's just it's always an honor every time we're able to book an interview with an artist and and cover their story and kind of help grow our own story too, in the
Mm.
same sense. And a lot of times I'm able to connect with people that I probably, as an artist, I wouldn't connect with just because as an artist, sometimes you have to be in your own ego type of, especially as a rapper. So a lot of times I don't like try to reach out or like, that type of thing.
From that.
Yeah. So this is kind of new for me and kind of helping me open up as a person as well. So I appreciate you for
Oh my
that too.
goodness. Thank you. And I must say, I must reflect like the way you reached out and again, just the flow and ease from it and the fact that I really didn't feel like ego in it. It just felt like real
Yeah.
pure, real clear, like real transparent, real supportive. Like that energy was just such a yes for me and it made it a no-brainer. Like, yeah, I would, of course, why would I not want to have a
Yeah.
conversation?
Yeah.
So keep doing what you're doing. Keep coming at it the way you're coming at it. Like I've appreciated this experience so much, like everything that led up to this experience too. So thank you.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Well, this is the end of the episode, guys. And we had Nina Grae on today. She has new music coming sometime soon, later this year, and then we can expect more music from her later next spring, 2021. Um, Nina, we appreciate you again. Coming on Always Chance It, brought to you by Real Chances Studio Network. And you guys can listen to Nina's interview via all streaming platforms for podcasting, and her visual will be available on our YouTube Real Chances Studio Network. Um, all new episodes will be out every Sunday, and just keep continuing to be with us, guys. Real Chances, a network that's nice as dice and full of opportunities. Checking in and checking out.
Shoo. Shoo.